Hi, my name is LaShay's, and I've been coming to Searchlight Fellowship now for a number of years, and this church has dramatically changed my life in so many areas. I can't even tell you in the time that I have to tell you, but the big area that this church has affected me in and has helped me grow in is in the area of relationships. I was in a number of just crazy relationships where I cheated on every single one of my boyfriends, and I started to be in relationships before I was even 13, and I started having sex at a really young age, and I did drugs and I drank, and most of my relationships consisted of drinking and getting drunk, and it was just not a good place, and I was way too young to even be doing these things. This was in high school and then after high school, and there's just a lot of bad habits, bad behaviors, and I didn't have my dad around, and so I sought out love and affection and my self-worth in men and in these relationships. And if I got if I got a hint that somebody was starting to reject me, or if they didn't love me, then that's when I would go and start cheating. And that's where I would go and get love from somebody else. I thought, if you're not going to love me, I'm going to find somebody who is. And and it was just a vicious cycle that I was in, and just continue and continue. And at one point in time, I said, I don't want to cheat anymore. I don't like this cheating. Maybe it's this guy that I'm with. He's not a great guy. So let me try. I'd break up with him and meet somebody else, and then the same thing would happen again, and the same thing would happen again, over and over again. And when I met my husband, it was really bad. And I had just gotten out of a long relationship, and then I met him, and I thought that this was supposed to be great. I broke up with this loser guy, and now I'm with somebody great. And as time went on, and then he moved in with me, and then we started having sex, and the relationship it was on fast forward. And one day I was out on my patio, and I was wondering, what is going on? What am I missing? I have a boyfriend. I just rented my own apartment. I just moved out of my parents' house, and I thought that I had it all together. I had a nice car and a job, and in my mind, it was great, but I felt miserable. When I look back at the time, it was so dark, and I felt so alone. I was just there on my patio, just looking up, feeling like I'm the only person in the world, and I felt like I was looking at myself, and I just saw myself with chains, and I felt heavy, and I just see myself there in shackles, and so I just said to myself, I'm tired of this. I want something to change. I'm miserable, and I had just started coming to Searchlight. I was still new to Searchlight, and I began to build relationships with women. I started to be able to be honest and be real, and I really felt accepted. I felt understood. I felt that these people were giving me real love and real grace. I could be me, and I didn't have to fake it. I didn't have to put on a happy face. I didn't have to act like I was happy. It was okay that I wasn't all together. I really wasn't all together, and I was miserable. And they took that in. They took it in and embraced me. And I don't even have words to say how much that affected my life. And I'm just super thankful for God and Jesus Christ. Before I started coming to this church, I was a Christian, and I started being a Christian when I was a little kid, and I knew Jesus and I knew God, but not like the way that I know Him today. Now I know what God's grace looks like, and what it really means when Jesus died on the cross for me and for us, and how God raised Him up from the dead. I had no idea before. I didn't know what that meant to me. I thought, okay, he did this, and does that mean to my life? What does that mean today? I'm miserable. And now with this, in this environment, I feel God's grace. I feel Jesus' grace in the way that he fights for me every single day. And in all of these crazy relationships and cheating on um, all these guys, now I'm so proud to say and so humble to say that I'm in a healthy marriage where I can be myself and my husband can be himself, and there's no cheating and no lying going on. And it's great. It's amazing that I came from just seeking attention from anybody, and now I just long for my husband's attention and for him to love me, and I don't have to get it from somebody else. If I feel like if I feel down one day, I don't go and look for it like I used to look for it out, and I don't have to drink or do anything. But I have this environment, this safe environment where I can be vulnerable and share my emotions and my feelings, and I can say I need a hug and I need you to love me, and I can share those vulnerable feelings with my husband, and not only him, but I have this whole community of people that I can be honest and be real with, and there's not even words to say how amazing that is.